Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending upon whether you're listening to the Warrior Live or the Warrior in Demand. I am legendary sports radio icon, the Warrior, once again making another foray into the sports talk radio realm. It's not at a 1,000-watt radio station in Killeen, Texas, at KTM, actually out of Temple, Texas, 1400. And it's not at the 100,000-watt mega station in Austin, Texas, KJFK 98.9 on the FM dial. Anyway, it's back in the Blog Talk format. I've had opportunities to do this. I had a brief foray into it back in 2013. But I'm here. I'm back, and it's me. I am legendary sports radio icon, the Warrior. And I come to you today just 48 hours after another senseless killing. I mean, we should be talking sports. I will have Josh Emmett on and his great victory in the UFC last Saturday. We'll talk to Susan Singarius. We'll look at the entire world of the MMA world to include Bellator, bare fist championships or bare knuckle championships, and then, of course, the UFC. We'll close out the show with Dave Tepper from the Altitude Network out of Denver. Big game tonight in the Oracle Arena between the Warriors and the Denver Nuggets. But before I get there, I want to talk about something that's really been on my mind, and it's been bothering me. It's another senseless killing of an American rap legend. This time, it's Nipsey Hussle. Before we get into that, I want to honor Nipsey in a way that we honor fallen champions. It's a 10 count. Nipsey Hussle, a man that could often be seen courtside. He was more than just a rapper, a songwriter, or a gang member. He rapped for labels such as Atlantic Records, Cinemax, Epic, All Money In. The man was a legend. Started off by selling his own copies of his CDs for $100 each. His debut album, Victory Lap, was released in February of 2018 to critical acclaim and commercial success, and he was nominated for Best Rap Artist. But this guy did it all. He was an entrepreneur. He was an individual that always wanted to be known more for his diamonds and his gold chains, but he always talked about his real estate investments. And now another rapper has left us too soon. Born August 15th, 1985, raised in the Crenshaw neighborhood of South Los Angeles. His father escaped the ongoing war of his homeland, War of Independence. Mother's African-American. He said, I'm raised in L.A. by my mom. You know, my mom's family is Black American. I always knew my heritage, but I never met my family. I didn't know my dad. My dad was the only one in America. Everybody else was back home. So it educated me to the other side. Hussle was also a member of the Rolling 60s Neighborhood Crips gang. His stage name, a play on comic Nipsey Hussle, originated as a nickname given to him by his friend. And now, another man gone too soon. Violence has overtaken our neighborhoods. It's time to say no. Which brings me to another point. We can go to the NBA. People pay thousands of dollars to go to an NBA game. You think they could conduct themselves? You think people could go to an LA Dodger game and conduct themselves in a professional manner? We got brothers out here dying on the street, and we got some rich people sitting in $1,000 game seats throwing racial slurs at players. You're not a part of the game. You want to be a part of the game? Do something. There's more than can be done than getting in a fight at the bleachers at the Dodgers games. They're yelling racial slurs at Russell Westbrook. It's time that we as a nation rose up. And stop celebrating people like this that are causing problems at games. Stop interviewing them on television. Stop mentioning their names. Stop giving them 2-year bans. Let's start banning these people from life for life. People dying out on the streets for the same words that you're saying at the games, thinking you can get away with it because you're surrounded by security. People, this struggle is real. These events at the games aren't funny anymore. They never were funny. For long times, teams have turned a blind eye to this. But now we've got more problems, more people banned from games. I'm just tired. And I'm tired of it. Anyway, we're going to take a quick time out. And when we come back, we're going to get into the UFC. And I want to talk with Susan Singari out of Florida, local radio and television personality down there, a big fan of MMA and a big fan of the program. But once again, I salute you, Nipsey Hussle. I salute your hustle and what you were trying to do. I don't know anything about gangs. I don't know who rolls with who or any of that other stuff. But I know people, and I know people that give back to the neighborhood. And Nipsey was one of the greats. He did give back to the neighborhood. Send you out to Tupac, and when we come back, we'll go to Susan Singari.